Welcome, fellow travelers. I'm Zillin, and I'm joining Chibi and Vertek tonight at the Golden Feather. Come on in, grab a seat, and let's share tales of adventure.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Golden Feather Tavern, where your hosts, Chibi and Vertek, discuss Ashes of Creation and important topics spoken about within the Ashes community. Every week, we invite you, the viewers, and a special guest to pull up a chair, grab a pint, and join the conversation with us. And today is the 8th of December, 2023. We're on episode 190. Zillin has bespoken.
With our
and our traveling bard today is Zillin. Hello, good sir. How are you today?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you guys doing today?
Doing pretty good.
Wonderful,
Awesome.
Wonderful.
I had to put that Easter egg in there. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Yep.
All right, so Chibi, let's tell everybody what we're looking at today. What's on the schedule?
Absolutely. So we have a good amount on our schedule today. We're going to be talking about some social systems, such as maybe how an NPC or a vendor might address you depending on your citizenship status, some artisan class systems, as well as some other potential class systems, and loot and despawn timers and rarity, etc. So a lot to talk about.
Ooh,
That sounds very esoteric.
I didn't say that. But very excited. And of course, Zillin. We have to talk about Zillin.
That's my favorite subject.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad. We're going to spend at least 15 minutes on that.
Oh God, that's too long. No, there's not that much to me.
Well, I guess first and foremost, if people don't know who you are, because it's been a while, who are you?
I'm a Ashes YouTuber and live streamer. I guess you could say it's been a while, although I have been making some videos recently, and they're still doing pretty well. So yeah, I'm an Ashes YouTuber. I make content on the game and mostly speculation about different systems and how they're going to play out, and trying to set the tone for what is coming, because I believe a lot of people don't realize how this game's going to play out. And so I'm trying to set expectations.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel that.
Expectations
good to have you back.
are important.
Yes.
Yes, expectations are important. It's good to be back, Chibi. I really appreciate you guys letting me come back on. I know I kind of messaged you guys out of nowhere and said, "Hey, when does Zillin get another turn?" So
Right?
I appreciate you guys letting me back on.
I know that we had you on in 2021 for pre-alpha 1. And then we also had you on in 2022, and now we're here in 2023. It's just making its rounds.
Yep. About once a year. That's about all of your audience can stand of me. So it's actually once a year, and we're good.
Hey, I was just gonna say, yeah, we're true to our word. All you had to do was ask, and we'd get you on in here.
Yep, absolutely.
I really do appreciate that. I think
as long as it's not like
great.
Every month, because then we got to give somebody else a turn to say.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Because Alexia says, imagine not knowing about Zillin. Tragic.
That's pretty funny. I do feel like it's a weird feeling to have. I admit, as a content creator, especially, I'd never expected my YouTube channel to take off, especially not like immediately like it did.
Right.
It's very strange that to some degree, I feel like what she said, there's some truth in that. Like, everybody who is in the Ashes space kind of knows who I am. I feel like the main ones, you know what I mean? It's very strange, but yeah, I see the point.
I think a Zillin gust would not smell so well.
Yeah, I think Zalexia is saying you're full of hot air, I think.
Yeah. I think having Zillin as a guest, though, now that I'm for. I love the "You Ain't Ready" video. The Numbrel says.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. That's my best one going right now. It's doing really well. Matter of fact, it's still going. I released it like 2 weeks ago, and usually that's how I know that the hype is back. Just so everyone knows, the hype for Ashes is back, and the way I know is because for 2 years, if you released an Ashes of Creation video, it didn't matter if it was good or bad, if it was well received or poor received, whatever, within, let's say 40 hours, it's dead. It has gotten all the views it's going to get. It might get 1 view a week or something like that, some random person looking for Ashes, but it's dead. But now videos are starting to, it's not all day, every day, like constant, but like it's steady, more views coming in all the time. And that particular one is over 5,000 views now. So just so you guys know, that is why Ashes, that's how I know Ashes hype is back.
And
You heard it from the official YouTube views thermometer here. Yeah, the YouTube hype thermometer.
Wait, hold on. What was it? Zillin, Return of the Hype.
Return of the Hype, yeah. Episode 4 or episode 6, Return of the Hype.
It's over 5,000.
It's over 5,000.
Hey, Burns.
Hello, welcome in. Yeah,
Speaking
Zillin
of
and
bespoken.
Bertak have both bespoken.
Yes, that's true. We have both bespoken.
Aw,
Oh, my
sounds
goodness.
good. Sounds good.
Oh, and Nice is in here too.
Zillin,
Hi, nice.
so tell me, Zillin,
Yes.
what's not what is your favorite thing about Ashes? Not what thing are you looking forward to the most, but what video are you looking forward to creating the most? On what topic coming up? Like, if you had to plan out everything that you could make a video about, what do you think would be the most fun or most engaging to make?
I have had this video idea in my head for about a year now, and I've been waiting for 2 things. One, I've had a little bit of writer's block because I feel like the script on this one has to be airtight because it's gonna anger some people, and so I can't be making mistakes. I can't say inaccurate things, that sort of thing.
Right.
And then number 2, I've been waiting for the hype to be right. But the video title would be something like "Solo players didn't save the MMO; they're actively destroying it."
Okay.
And
Okay.
and like I said, I know people will be, get people all fired up, and it would probably be a very, very high view video. But like I said, I'm nervous to release it because I want that I want to make that argument crystal clear and have it be airtight, where you can't say that I'm trying to say something that I'm not actually trying to say. So that's the thing. And I will say that here lately, I've been going, okay, I need to, the hype is starting to get there. It's time to start scripting that video. So I've been working.
Right. That's fair. Speaking of clickbait, we have an ad starting in about 3 minutes. If you do not want any ads, we ask that you subscribe, I guess, because we can't turn them off, because it's Twitch. But we will be working in the new year to dual stream or multi-stream over to YouTube and a few other places. So that way, if you don't like ads, you can just go somewhere where there aren't any ads, and it'll be amazing. Just kidding. Vertec is asking me to snooze it, and I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So we'll do it in like 7-ish minutes.
Yeah, we'll try to snooze it until we go to head over to the meat and potatoes of the day.
That's fair. Yeah. But yes, we will. It was also to help turn off the pre-rolls. We don't like pre-rolls, so yeah. Really wish Unblock can work on Twitch, but it is what it is. Yeah. Oh, the ad blocker. Yeah. You'd be surprised to know the ads on Twitch can sync to all channels. Interesting. But my question, Zillin, and I'm sure this is a lot of people's burning questions. What quarter do you think Intrepid is announcing on the 19th?
I think I say there is an 80% chance that it's Q2 and a 20% chance that it's Q1. I leave that little bit in there for Q1 because I've been convinced a little bit on the argument that you want to. If Intrepid truly wants to capitalize on that January 17th FOMO panic buy, you can't buy access anymore after this, then the date has to be relatively close to that.
Okay.
Because if they say it's coming in August and the last day to buy is January 17th, like that doesn't create that panic. It's just too far away. But if it's February, if they say it's February 27th, and by the way, the last day you can buy it is January 17th. Like, oh crap, let me go find $250 in the couch cushions or whatever.
Yeah.
So I leave it open for that, but I think the most likely is quarter 2. To me, I already thought quarter 3 and quarter 4 were out as soon as they announced definitely in 2024.
Yeah.
Simply because his whole thing is he doesn't want to lie. He doesn't want to be a liar. He doesn't want the game to be a scam again in the eyes of the community and the MMO people in general. And so in video game development world, one problem is a 3 or 4 month problem. So
right.
you can't say we're planning for September because one thing happens and boom, it's 2025 and now you're a liar and the game's a scam again.
Right.
So to me, quarter 3 and quarter 4 were already out. And then when they announced that they're already spot testing, I mean, that just... If you don't spot test the game for 6 months, that's dumb.
Yeah.
So to me, quarter 2 makes the most sense with a slight holdout for a quarter 1. They would have to give us the character creator in December.
Oh, absolutely. Just to hold over people.
Yeah. So there you go. Quarter 2 or quarter 1.
People are saying quarter 2, but MF Cracker says my heart February 2024, and then Chappie says if they said quarter 1, people would start burning down houses, ashes, arson, and then Crack says I like fire. Was he like 100% optimistic from the usual naysayer?
I'm not a naysayer. I think that I have done a very poor job of managing my expectations over the course of between Alpha 2 or between Alpha 1 and now. I was talking about a surprise they could be announcing Alpha 2 the Christmas following Alpha 1, so just whatever that was, 6 months or whatever. And then I said it again in 2021 and I said it again in 2022. I'm always thinking that we're like right there, like it's so close. And that is why this at the beginning of this year I just said, you know what, I'm throwing my hands up, whatever, it's fine. I'm not going to deal with that anymore. I'm not going to make any predictions. I'm just going to stay to the side and watch what happens. And then when they started announcing 2024 and stuff, I couldn't hold it back, and so then I started coming in with predictions again. So here we are, 2023, with me going,
here we are again.
Do it, Christmas.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I feel you there with the whole, like, it's right around the corner, guys. It's right around the corner. I think for the longest time I said that 2024 was going to be the Alpha 2 year, and then betas would be in 2024. I was like, that's my prediction. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I'm aiming quarter 2, quarter 3, like right there on the cusp, somewhere within like a month on either side of the cusp, right there.
Yeah, that's late quarter 1, early quarter 2 has been my prediction. And I'll tell you, I have a buddy. He's a big Ashes fan. He comments on a lot of the videos and all that stuff. His name's Splinter, if you follow all that. And Splinter was a video game developer, actually worked for Gearbox and helped develop Borderlands, the original Borderlands.
Nice.
And he also was involved with a bunch of other ones. And one of the things he always, number one, he predicted 2024 back in during Alpha 1. He predicted 2024 was when Alpha 2 would happen. So he got that right. But one of the things he always told me was that in video game world, anything more than 3 in video game development world, anything more than 3 months out is absolute guesswork. Like it is pure guesswork. And then when Unreal Engine 5 came out, I believe he told me, it may have been someone else told me this, but I think it was him, that with UE5 and the speeding up of the production pipeline and the things that they added to UE5, you might be able to extend that to 4 months. So maybe 4 months, and then it's so even that lines up with, if they already have a date in mind, it can't be 6 months away. That just doesn't make any sense, because you can't predict that far away in video game development. So that's even more reason why I keep thinking that this is coming sooner rather than later. But I've been saying that for 3 years, so who knows? I'm an idiot. Don't listen to me.
Was he so suddenly with that hot take? His optimism of Q1 makes more sense, which fair. I've always been saying lately, if quarter 1, it'll be late quarter 1 / early to mid quarter 2, because they need time. Obviously, we know that they're doing limited spot testing. They need time to iterate upon that. They need time to include more people. If it's anything like Alpha 1, Zillin, we were there for Alpha 1. They included more people, and then there was like more stuff. But also, if it's anything like Alpha 1, any updates are going to be hecka fast. So
yes.
Yeah.
They were really quick.
my last question for you is, if any of the live streams, which live stream for you kind of solidified that they were actually getting closer to Alpha 2 than we initially thought? Like, is there one where you're like,
Than we initially thought?
Yeah, like there's a lot of people that thought maybe if not 2024, maybe 2025 or 2026. But I have my answer. But is there one for you where you're like, oh, it's definitely around the corner? I can feel it just by like this development stream.
To me, the only one that fits that category is the one we just had.
Fair. Okay.
Because like crafting, you don't touch crafting until the game's dang near done.
Right.
But more than anything, if you go look at that list that Steven put on Discord of what the live stream was going to be about, he did it the day before. If you go look at that, it reads like patch notes. Like it doesn't even look like what they're going to talk about. It looks like a group of patch notes. Like they're down to the volumetric skybox and crap like that. Like, so I'm going, when you get to that level, you're ready. People can come in and play the game. So I would say that was it. That was the one before that at least led me to think, okay, we're moving in that direction. Would have been the Nodes showcase.
Right.
But yeah, so that'd be my answer.
And those are kind of the same for me. I mean, I've kind of been feeling like a lot of people have been looking at these updates and then feeling like, oh, you know, they haven't really changed much. They haven't really changed much. But then when they showed how in-depth some of those like more in-depth systems like the mayorship system, etc., you could tell there was a lot more to that. And you're like, oh, heck, you've been working on this.
Yes.
This is further along than we think it is.
Yes.
So
it was during that time, somewhere right in that area, I can't remember exactly when, where Margaret said, and just like in like the most nonchalant kind of way, I don't think a lot of people caught it. I would like to go back and just see if I could hear her say it. But she said something to the effect of, we only show you 10% of what we've done.
And that's what it feels like. Yeah. It feels like there's a lot more.
Yeah, if they've only shown us 10% of what they've done, you know, there's biomes that are complete that we haven't seen, and nodes and archetypes and, you know, all that stuff. And you know, and then you start looking at the level of Steven, and he's, you know, was level 15 forever. And then all of a sudden one time he was 25 and the next time he was 35. And it's like, oh, this is coming. Like this is happening soon. So yeah, I agree 100%.
Chappie says when they showed off the town for the first time with the new node stream, I started putting my tinfoil hat on. Penumbral says when Steven said NDA spot testing is happening now.
Yeah. It's a good sign right there.
Yeah, pretty good sign, I'd say.
Yeah.
So Zarya, aka Zutaria, is saying, I can't wait to try making some of the food items, and we're definitely going to touch on that later. I know which one. So, thank you. Oh my gosh, wait, I think we hit a goal.
Yep, you did.
Oh my, we did.
What goal was that? Was that, what goal was that?
Did we come up with anyone for that yet?
Yeah, we did, but I forgot what it was.
Oh no.
It doesn't say it. I think it's the Goose Goose Duck or Duck Duck Goose game. We'll do like
I think actually, I think I remember you saying that.
Yeah. So thank you. We're gonna. Yeah.
I would never be your true wife. Never. Not once.
We haven't done the last goal. We're doing it Sunday. So yeah, this will be planned for the new year. We'll do, when we get back, we will do another group up. But I'm a little upset. We'll get into that in a second. But I'm a little bit upset on the announcement of the live streaming date because we're going on break right before the live stream for December, and I'm a little sad, so we'll get into that. Hi Vox, welcome in.
Hey Vox, what's going on?
And thank you. Cheers. I'm gonna do it through here. Cheers for both of us. VTuber cheers. There we go. Cheers for the subs. Thank you so much. No vacations. I know, never. We're gonna go see some family, so yeah. All right, so what we're gonna do is we love you too. Alexia, thank you. Oh, I love that. Golden Kappa train incoming. What is this?
What is that?
What
I don't
is
know.
this?
Time to earn exclusive Golden Kappa emote for 24 hours.
For 24 hours. hours. Okay,
Ooh.
interesting.
Huh.
That's new. I know. I was like, on a Tuesday, I can't even take shots on a Tuesday. Oh my gosh. So, okay, with that, we were making a joke of, Mirror, thank you.
Yeah, thank you much.
Cheers. We were talking about taking a shot every time Steven said this is an alpha.
Oh,
Because of how many times he was saying it.
you'd be dead.
Yeah. But an ad is about to start. During the ad, I'm going to go ahead and do TGF updates. For those of you that are watching this on YouTube, there will be no ad. So buckle up.
Yeah.
And we'll see you after the ad.
Yes.
All right. So for Golden Feather updates, I was kind of just hinting at it. We are, next week is going to be our last 2023 stream. And we will be back in the new year, actually with Des Revis. So that'll be a lot of fun. Also, we have some new emotes coming and some new sub badges. Yeah, just the last one for 2023. We're going on break for a couple of weeks because we're going up to see family. So very excited. We are doing a watch party in our Discord for it though, Tuesday night because I'm working Tuesday day. So if you're interested in that, come join us. But yes, and by the new year, I'm hoping to get the new emotes up. I'm hoping to get the new sub badges up. So very excited. The only family is Ashes. And then in 2024, our schedule is changing a little bit. We need a real life stream on the 23rd with your family. Oh man, I think we'll still be driving up on the 23rd.
Oh, that's funny. The ad didn't start because we have the automatic snooze on for hype trains.
That's funny. Okay. Should I manually run it?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, guys, for the hype train. Okay. Just popped in because I remember I needed a resub. Y'all have a nice stream. Aw, thank you. Yes. We're playing
thanks for
Lethal Company
swinging
on
in.
Sunday. And we have Vox joining us. We have a bunch of people joining us on Monday. We're doing Heroes of Barcadia on Monday for a community stream. So if you're interested in joining that, Vertec loves running that game. We have some spots open.
Yes.
It's basically, if you've ever played Munchkin, it's Munchkin meets like D&D as a dungeon crawler. And if you play it in person, your alcoholic beverage is your health bar. So as you're attacking like monsters and stuff, if they hit you, you lose health, so you have to drink your health down. It's really, really fun. Alexia, thank you.
Thank you again.
Munchkin is awesome. Yes, I love it. Cheers, cheers, cheers. I gotta do that again.
Much appreciated.
Cheers. Aw, I can't. It's on snooze. Okay, whatever. Also, the best way to ruin friendships, yes. Although I think I've kept it pretty lighthearted with this guy because he usually backstabs me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Chappy! Thank you.
Chaffee, thank you.
But yes, big news for 2024. I have a side quest that I'll be doing for some freehold loot, and I will not be available on Fridays anymore. So we're going to be moving our podcast after the one with Des Revis to Tuesday. It more than likely will start on Tuesday the 16th, but we will be also, like Zillin, keeping our eye on the Ashes hype and maybe doing it on the 9th, shortly after the Friday stream. So we'll keep you updated. If you're a subscriber, which a lot of you have just been gifted, you'll know sooner than other people because we'll have figured it out by then.
Yeah.
But I think that's about it for the updates. Zillin, you are our guest. Which of these topics sound the most interesting? Which one should we start with first?
I didn't know you were going to ask me that question.
So loot,
Good. Catch
loot
them off
social or
guard.
class systems.
Yes.
Let's do the loot one. Let's get super esoteric and in the weeds, lost in the weeds about how long loot's gonna, stay on the world and stuff.
Looty loot. Okay, perfect. Sorry. I'm clearly hyper. There's actually a house rule where if you have to do certain things in Heroes of Arcadia, and if you don't do it, then you lose your health points as well as other people catch you not doing it. So one of them I think is looty loot when you go to loot something. But we're gonna talk about loot despawn timers and items on the ground. So first off, do you think items should be visible on the ground if you take them out of your bag.
I mean, they should be. I know that it's common for these developers to like skip that. A lot of times it's just a package on the ground. Like, doesn't Ark do that, where it doesn't matter what you throw on the ground, it just looks like a package or something?
Yeah, I think a lot of places do that. It's weird.
Right. So you guys are just going to go straight and ask me the question that makes Old Man Zillin come out and talk about Ultima Online in 1999.
Hey, coming out of a commercial break, just go full tilt.
There you go. If I remember correctly, and I may be wrong about this, but the only MMO I've ever played where when you dropped stuff, it was literally on the ground for anyone to pick up. I've played some where you can drop stuff and only you can pick it up. Mm-hmm. But in Ultima Online, if you put something on the ground, anybody can pick it up. Mm-hmm. And of course, that game didn't have a mail system like modern MMOs. And so if you wanted to transfer stuff between characters, you had to drop it on the ground and switch to the other character really fast and pick it up before somebody else found it, which is a crazy system. And I started thinking about that in the context of Ashes, and something that I've mentioned to several people over like the last 6 months, and it blows their minds every time I say it because they hadn't thought about it. You're not going to be able to mail stuff to your own alts in Ashes of Creation.
Right.
That's such a modern convenience that we all just like take for granted. But if you could mail your stuff, that would negate the entire caravan system. It would literally just take the caravan system right out of the game if you could mail stuff to your alts. And so is that how we're going to transfer gear to our alts, is drop it on the ground? Or we'll probably have an account storage of some sort. But no, because you still can't. It'd have to be local account storage. See, it gets convoluted and confusing really fast. But yeah, I like the idea of stuff being on the ground. I really like the idea of it being on the ground and actually the mesh and the what it looks like actually be the thing that you see, instead of just seeing a package and having to go up and mouse over it to see. How long it should stay there? Should other people be able to pick up what you drop? Should there be a grace period where you have a couple of minutes before it's available for everybody? I don't know. That's all stuff to test in Alpha 2, I guess.
Yeah. For me, I guess I wouldn't really, I don't know, because it depends on the server, right? Because it also depends on how long those things stay on. Oh, we got a golden Kappa emote. Yay! It depends on how long those things stay on in the world, right? Because after a certain period of time, if there's enough things that are just tossed into the world, they're taking up some server space, because that's like a little bit of memory that's to be allocated to that. So I'm very curious to see like your guys' thoughts on that as well, because we did have welcome in, by the way, first time chatter. I'm not sure how to say her name. I'm sorry. I think it's Bangeline. I'm not sure. Says dropping player loot on the ground isn't a good idea in MMOs. I would like to know why. I mean, I kind of agree, but I'm on the fence. I've never actually experienced being able to drop loot on the ground and it stays there. It usually disappears, like in World of Warcraft. It just disappears into oblivion. It's like, are you sure you want to delete this?
Man, I tell you, in Ultima Online, it has that. I don't know if you've ever even seen it, but it has that top-down, the isometric view, and so you could go behind a house where your character was literally completely concealed by the house, and then you could turn on a little thing that would give you like a I don't know, X-ray vision or whatever. It'd open a little spot so you could see even whenever you were behind something, and that's where you would go. You would go behind a house and drop whatever you wanted there, so that somebody would literally have to turn on that feature and then go walking on behind all the houses just to find if somebody dropped some ingots or a piece of gear or something like that back there. So generally it worked. I did have one time where somebody got to my stuff before I was able to, but it's an interesting concept of stuff being on the ground and it just being free for all for anybody to get, and it creates the main reason I think that it's a good idea or likely in Ashes is because they're always talking about trying to create conflict between players, and stuff getting dropped on the ground and you can just pick it up, that's going to create conflict pretty fast.
I could see that. Vertite, do you have any experience with that at all?
Yeah, I'm having a tough time calling exactly which games they were that dropped it on the ground, because it's been so long since I played a game that did have the loot
I think maybe
popping out.
Darkfall.
maybe. I can't remember if Wildstar did that, but I do know that's kind of where the term loot pinata came from when people talk about an easy boss that you can like crack open, because some of the older games, it would literally, you kill the boss, it falls over and it would explode out of the boss and start flying into the ground. They would literally fall all over the ground, but I don't know. I think it had its time, but in trying to be safe for people, just doing the straight trade if you're trying to transfer, and giving somebody a bank to put it in if there's a way to transfer to like alts and whatnot would be even better. Like a bank for your whole account instead of just individual characters. But like you were saying, Zillin, but there's no like worldwide bank, because that would also get rid of caravans. So
right.
You know, they would all have to be in the same area, so it becomes really tricky. But I guess if you're going to drop it on the ground and pick it up, I guess you'd have to be in the same area anyway, right? But
yeah.
I've always thought it was neat, though. Like, you could throw a sword on the ground and there's literally a sword on the ground.
Right.
Okay, yeah, I could see that versus like a bag or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That's if they do it, that's what I want it to be. I want it to be the actual item itself and not a bag.
That's fair. So according to the wiki for the looting topic, items that are dragged out of a player's inventory are destroyed. Allowing player-dropped items such as gear and currency to exist in the world is likely not going to be allowed. So womp womp on that one.
Well, there you go.
But what do you think of the time after you kill something for the loot to be there? Do you think it's going to despawn kind of instantly? Do you think it'll hang out for a little bit? Mainly, Zeeg's worry is like, what if your bags are full and you need to get rid of something to be able to loot something? How long will it last, kind of thing?
I would think certainly it would last long enough for you to drag something off of your inventory to get rid of something to make space. But that, to me, that whole concept just goes under the kind of what I've been arguing for a long time now, when people mention a lot of these things. Oh, what if this happens? What if this happens? What if that happens? And it's like, you're gonna not only want, but absolutely need to be more prepared for everything you do in this game than other MMOs. Because you're not going to be able to fast travel back.
Right.
Things are going to happen. Things are going to go wrong while you're out there. You know, you can get jumped at any time, all those different things. And so, yeah, that, to me, if it does disappear while you're trying to get clear up some space in your bag, number one, it took you too long to clear up space in your bag. And number two, it's kind of on you. Like, you should have been prepared for what's going on. But
right.
I have more of a hardcore view on that, I guess.
Stephen did mention you can pull up like a mule or your own personal caravan to send stuff back as well. Yes. But Vertec, what are your thoughts?
So you're talking about despawn timer?
Yeah, from looting.
There should be something, but I think that's going to really need some testing, to be honest, because it's been kind of different in every game. I know it has to be a long time, right? Because you're going to be sent to like the nearest graveyard, but where is the nearest graveyard? And are you going to get killed on the way back again? And are you going to get killed on the way back again?
Right.
And maybe there's a big old battle going on over your body, and there's your friends and the player killers just hanging out there fighting, and nobody's picked your stuff up. But then by the time you finally make it back after getting murdered a few times, your stuff just despawns. That would be such the worst feeling. Like nobody picked it up at all. Your stuff just disappeared because it had a 5-minute cooldown or whatever, or 5-minute despawn.
Yeah. So apparently, Wizzy says he answered that, and it flags if you loot it. Because Nira says perhaps it would be globally, because I was asking them if it's around for say 60 to 120 minutes, is it globally lootable? Being that you went to loot it, you don't have bag space, does it become globally lootable? And Nara says perhaps as stolen loot it could be, which Wizzy seems to kind of confirmed. So,
interesting.
Yeah, the other thing,
shopping loot and waiting in a bush. I like that one.
because also then you got to think if there were like to combine the two, if you were able to put items out on the ground and there was a really long despawn timer, that's going to start to affect server performance pretty heavily too.
Right. Somebody mentioned that Dr. Burns said that Steven says he used to cheese one of his old games by dropping thousands of items down on the battlefield to lag out his opponents.
Oh my gosh.
And so you could make the argument that by setting it up where when anything you drag off your inventory just gets destroyed, he's fixing the broken systems in the games that he's played. So that's what Dr. Burns said. It's a good observation.
Yeah. Well, this takes us over to the dev discussion, which is drop rarity. And how do you feel when it comes to rare loot? Do you prefer when rare mobs and boss mobs drop something interesting often or less often?
Oh, that's a weird way to word that question.
Yeah.
When they drop something interesting. I mean, I will say personally, and I know this isn't popular. I like when items feel special. And so I'll give you a good example. Man, we're just gonna tell Ultima Online stories a day, apparently. I had a buddy. He's still a buddy. Hardcore in Ultima Online. God, he played that all the way to like 2008 or 2009. Like Warcraft had well been out and had a couple expansions, and he was still playing Ultima Online. But way back in the early days of Ultima Online, when they actually had live GMs who were like doing things on the server to like make things happen, create content. They had this town, and I can't remember the name of the town. I want to say it was like Hope or something like that. So it had some kind of a positive name like that. He had it be attacked by beholders. And there was literally hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of beholders like covered all over this town. It was just on this one server. Other servers didn't experience this. It was a single event that happened on that server. And my buddy got together and he got a whole bunch of people together and organized this raid. And over like a 7 or 8 day period, he was like, he didn't do anything but eat, sleep, and organized this group to push back against this beholder invasion. And he actually did it, and they pushed all the beholders out of it and got rid of, freed up the town or whatever. And they gave him a sword that it was literally the only sword in the entire game like it. There was no one else had another sword like that. Wow. It was only his because of his, the GMs gave him that as a reward for organizing this defense. And I still remember that story. I don't remember the story about any other piece of gear that anybody's ever gotten, you know what I mean? But I remember that one. And so I would love it if the truly rare stuff was like that, was actually rare instead of the word rare just meaning not common or uncommon, right? Actually rare. That's what I would want to say. So I guess less often would be my answer, but
I think I like it like you were kind of getting at it being dependent on the type. Mm-hmm. So if it's rare, more rare. If it's uncommon, it's a little uncommon, common, super common, etc. Like, yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm kind of on that same board. I like the RNG to be there and exist when it comes to setting a certain percentage that this type of item or this rarity of item should be dropping, and kind of stick with it and make sure that rare means something and epic means something and legendary means something.
Right.
Like, not just because it's legendary in power, but there's 790,000 of them in existence, but like legendary, like there are legends told about this thing and few have actually seen it, let alone touched it, let alone wielded it.
Right.
Like that type of thing.
Yeah.
Now, the one gripe I've had with a lot of games is the RNG gets too involved, and you are, say, running around as a rogue, just trying to get some rogue gear, but everybody else keeps getting gear like plate and cloth, but you just can't get leather to drop to save your life, no matter how many times you kill anything. And I really like when games kind of give a little bit for everybody to be able to use. But I think Ashes might be solving that with crafting being some of the best gear out there.
Right.
And if they're just dropping materials that you can craft into anything, it's fantastic.
So my take on it is it would be cool to have like a mixture. So imagine artisan class, right? Going back to that whole idea. What if the more rare item is like the actual recipe and the more common is like a part of a recipe. So you have a likelihood of getting more pieces of a part of a recipe that you can then put together. But the rare that you would get the actual recipe itself to drop already together. Something like that I think could be cool. But also, please, for the love of all that is holy in Vera, do not make it so if I have to grab 30 pelts, I have to kill like 90 mobs, because even though I am killing all of the mobs with pelts, they're still not dropping pelts.
Right.
Because that was really irritating in like World of Warcraft Outlands, where you have to grab those zebra hooves, basically.
Oh my gosh, yes. You know what? Everything should drop it. It's just a matter of quality, right? Like, is it a damaged pelt or is it a good one? Like, drop at least a damaged one, for crying out loud.
Good old Barons, right?
No. Actually, there's a... this is a problem that I've been trying to solve in my head for a long time, because I understand the ramifications or the problems of the flip side of this problem, but I'm going to use Fallout 76 as an example. I don't know if any of you guys ever played that one. Or if you played Fallout 4, it has the very similar system where I don't even know what they're called. The unique creatures, I forget what they're called, the name creatures, drop random loot, and it's totally random. It could be a pistol or a rifle or a rocket launcher or whatever, and it has a different legendary effect on it. And because of that randomness, like literally the entire game at endgame was running around trying to find the creatures that drop the loot. I can't believe that I can't remember their names right now, but trying to find them to get legendary loot, and hoping that you get decent rolls to create an item that works well or whatever. And the people who have succeeded are just mowing stuff down like crazy, and you're struggling to kill one thing because you haven't succeeded in just pure random chance. And so I hope that they would find a way to have it where you can't template a class by knowing exactly what drops where and where you're going to get every single stat from, so that before you start the game, you already know every level what thing you're going to go kill to get what piece, so that you can be templated, but also make it where it's not just randomly running around hoping that something that you can use drops. So you got to find that balance.
Yeah. Mr. Valentine says, so is the disparity having legendary items be rare and powerful when it comes to PvP, is that advantage worth it to anyone facing it, or is that the point?
Yeah.
I'll pull it up on the screen so people can read it.
Interesting.
Oh, I got it pulled up.
Okay,
I was already going to share that one. Look at that. So on the same wavelength and everything.
Same wavelength. Love it.
But I think that's kind of the point, is if you were to roll up onto a big PvP battleground or into like a node siege, right? And you see so-and-so with the mystic armor of the whatever the thing is. And it's this very distinct framing profile, and it has like a whatever glow or something to it. And you see it, and then everyone's going to be talking about it. Oh my gosh, we got Zillan with the armor of the whatever that thing was.
Armor of the villain.
He's out there. We got to focus fire on him, and it's going to be like a key focal point of it. And maybe not to the overpowering degree that you can like walk up and like knock down a node gate or something. Like maybe not that powerful, but it's going to be enough to make people notice you and stand out. And then you know what?
Yeah.
Is that extra power really going to benefit you if everybody's going to target you for having it?
Yeah, does it make you a target?
Yeah. Risk versus
being
reward.
Support makes you a target too.
I remember way back in 2001, the launch of Dark Age of Camelot. I was there on launch day for that game. And if you don't know about that game, the main feature of it is that there's 3 different realms, and those 3 realms have a center point where they can fight over keeps and castles and stuff like that. So it's very PvP involved, very siege involved. And I want to say like on the 4th day of that game or something like that, I went out into the realm versus realm area, what they call the RVR area. And there was one guy who I like, he must have just not slept or something. And he was like level 29 and everybody else was like 24, 25. out there, and so he was just a few levels higher. And back even today, Dark Age of Camelot, the level disparities are really big. Like one level's a lot, and two levels a lot, you know. And so he was a Furbolg, which was a class that you have in that game, and he had red hair and he was wearing green armor. Like, I remember this guy. I remembered his name for years, but I've forgotten his name now. But like, he terrorized the battlefield in that game for 72 hours or whatever, until everybody started to catch up with him or whatever. But he grinded hard enough to get a few levels on everybody and just destroyed everybody for, like I said, a little while or whatever. And I still remember that. And when I think back about memories of like things that I actually remember, that's one of them. And so yeah, getting some sword that wrecks everybody for a little while until other people start catching up with you, that's great. I would love to see that.
All right, going to the next topic, which is on social systems. It kind of came to mind because we were just talking about having a legendary item, and we're already coming up to like 1 hour. I can't believe that. So the question is from Dryads. Does anybody else just want to be a nobody for Ashes of Creation? And I really like the idea of you working hard and like getting that legendary thing being the thing that defines the name for you, rather than being treated like the hero of the world. So I'm pretty sure, just a pulse check, we all like it that we're not all the heroes of Vera.
Yeah.
Yes. I hate in MMOs that, you know, you just saved the world, and so did him and her and him, you know. Everybody, we're all the heroes of Azeroth or Tatooine or, you know, whatever, you know, game, whatever your IP is. But yeah, I've hated that for a really long time, and it's gonna be similar to that in this with the story arc system, and we're gonna be saving the Power of Carfin or whatever. I mean, it's going to be somewhat similar, but I think to a lesser degree. And yeah, I've been excited about it for a long time.
Yeah, I love that.
Love it.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm right on board. Also, Nara says, yeah, the hero thing is a scam they used to get us to go through the portal. But yeah, I'm perfectly okay not being like, you're the only one that can do this, blah blah blah, and then that person that just told me that is 10 times stronger than I am, and holding the boss at bay with ease while I take care of something else for them real quick.
Yeah.
Like, okay, buddy. But you know what would be great is hearing something like, you know, you're the first generation that's going to be blah, 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 and we're all depending on you.
Yeah.
Like, talking about the everybody coming through the portals these are the people we're depending on. Like, go take care of this stuff. Like, that would be really cool.
That takes me to this next one by Vaspa on the forums. Talking about like different dialogue from vendors and NPCs for citizens versus visitors. I really like this idea. I mean, we kind of felt that way with Steven as well when he's upset that he's not being respected as a mayor in the live streams. He's like, how dare you? Don't you know I'm the mayor? But it's a good point. I mean, I ended up responding on this one about like, halt, visitor. You are entering Tolnar lands. These are some of the most... Wait, what is it? Halt, traveler. You are entering the sacred land of the Tolnar. Few are as treacherous lands as these. Vera be with you, that you survive your time here. Versus, welcome back, citizen. Glad to see you survived another day out in Vera. Though, none would put it past you, as you have survived the harshness that Vera has to offer. Nonetheless, welcome back. Something like that. I thought that would be cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
You got to script it. All Intrepid has to do is just copy that and paste it right in. We're good.
There you go. I did it for them.
Yeah. They should hire you.
I don't know about that one. Let's see.
Oh, by the way, just feeding off of what you said with Tolnar Land, by the way, somebody would be amazing if you actually make, say, a freehold that has nothing but a bunch of bioluminescent stuff and you name it Tolnar Land.
Oh my gosh.
Just nothing but like Underrealm stuff and just call it Tolnar Land.
I would totally do that.
Tolnar Carnival. Ready, set, go.
The next topic, Tolnar Carnival, is that what you just said?
Yeah, Tolnar Carnival.
The next topic is about artisan and gathering process bar style gameplay. Talking about like manual crafting. So this person doesn't really like the bars. So gathering system, chopping trees, progress bars are the old staple and a boring staple. Most MMOs use it and no one innovates it. Can we try something new to interactive? Do you have any ideas for that?
Oh my goodness, you're about to get Zilled on the soapbox now.
Yes.
I have been complaining about this for a long time. It drives me crazy, just absolutely crazy. So, Chibi, I'm pretty sure you played Embers because you made some content on Embers Adrift, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The gathering in that game is so stupid that it's 8 seconds. When you hit a gathering node, you're staring at your screen, doing nothing for 8 seconds, over and over and over and over again. It's stupid. Just watching a little blue bar fill up the entire time. At least with Ashes, it's kind of long, like because it's a pretty long animation, especially the mining one. But like, there's a cool animation and the sound effect going with it, and so it kind of offsets it, but it's still stupid. Like, why are you creating systems where the player is literally just staring at their screen for long periods of time? Yes, Imogenous said mini worm, and that's exactly right. I don't know if you guys ever played Bein or Worm Unlimited. It's an old MMO that was developed. It actually was developed by or co-developed by Notch, the guy who went on to make Minecraft.
Okay.
But on that game, literally everything is staring at a blue bar. Every action you take in the entire game, there's just a blue bar that fills up.
Woof.
And that's the entire gameplay. And it's awful, and I do not like it. And I kind of understand people's point about like, well, then what do? Do you like have some type of a mini game that you play every time? But there's a part of me that's like, yes, let's play a mini game every time. Make it hard. Make it a hard mini game so that, and how you perform determines how much you get out of that node. Mm-hmm. So at least you're not just sitting there staring at your screen. Like you go gathering for 3 hours and you're going to spend an hour of that total just staring at your screen doing nothing. That's not fun. So from a moment to moment gameplay standpoint, I agree completely that we need to innovate in that area and find a new way to do it.
Yeah, that's fair.
For every gathering resource to have some kind of a visual cue on it that shows you like, like the flower plant, you're going to pick daisies or whatever, they got to start disappearing off that bush one by one or 2 by 2.
Right. I feel like it's a good point. Like right now, the skill tree for crafting or gathering is up right now.
Yep, it is.
So it says, it's interesting that fishing is a gathering mini game that is expected in MMOs, but other gathering mini games are unwelcome and to many MMO players.
Yes.
Villain's like, that's my point.
Yes. Yes, make all like and people love fishing in MMOs. It's one of the things people get excited about. So it's like, why? But why when I go mine can I not have some type of mini game? And I mean, you could make a mini game that is hard enough that you couldn't just master it and you just do it every single time without fail. If you did that, then it would make the entire action of going out and doing it fun. And for me, I would like it enjoyable, trying to master it, trying to get better at it, trying to get to the point where 99% of the time I get it right. But when I fail, I'm like, oh, you're dumb, that sort of thing. I agree. There needs to be mini games for gathering, but I just don't see us heading in that direction as a genre.
Mm-hmm. Vertec?
Oh man, I think because I was just sitting there trying to think of why that could be, why people are okay with fishing but not the other stuff, and I kind of thought of, what is fishing in real life? When you go fishing, what are you doing? You're going out there, throwing something out, and waiting, and just waiting and reacting when that thing finally happens. But if you're going out and you're going to like pick some apples off a tree, you're just walking up and grabbing an apple, boom, 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 done. Like, so I could kind of see the expectation of someone just literally saying, I'm going fishing. They're expecting to go somewhere, sit there for a long time and wait for this one thing to react to. And it feels more like, more real life like maybe, because that's literally fishing in real life, as you're sitting there watching a bobber or watching a line or feeling a pull for a jiggle and just reeling it back in. Yeah. So maybe that's why. That's all I got though. That's all I got.
Empiric says, I think it's because other resources are needed more in more mass, like wood, ores, etc. Gathering is kind of like a chill process. I mean, that could also make sense because you need more of those things. So you have to go do them more. Whereas maybe a cooking thing would require 1 or 2 of the fish versus like 10 ore kind of thing.
Yeah,
so,
maybe. I will say that what they showed with gathering with ashes looks like it's going to be more engaging and more interesting.
Yeah.
Especially the group concept. That's the video that
with the surveying too.
With the yes. When you combine the clothing, you can separate yourself from other crafters with the clothing, and the surveying, you separate yourself by being a surveyor. The other skills, so you can separate yourself by having different skills than the other people. Maybe you can mine faster and they have a higher crit chance or whatever. And then the fact that multiple people can hit the same node, you're going to create like a gathering ecosystem where people go out together using their skills together to go gather, where in previous MMOs, except for Vanguard Saga of Heroes, which had a very similar system to this, people gather in crafting MMOs a very solo, kind of a lonely experience, and Ashes is making it a social experience. So I think it'll be more fun to be doing that because than in this game than the other ones where it's, like I said, it's just kind of boring and lonely.
Yeah. And I believe Vladis, who we're going to be rating after we're done with our podcast, also kind of spoke in depth. I was listening to a live stream the other day on the skill tree and like what you can get into from what we saw on the stream. I think that's a great point, to be able to separate yourself that way. But on this vein of mini games, there is this person, Calcaz, on the forums, which was saying that they would like to see for something like doing some sort of weaponsmithing, if it's something kind of like arm wrestling, as like a mini game type of thing where you gain more proficiency in a design or pattern for the area to click gets bigger, which is kind of what Steven was talking about a little while back. This is from a quote from 2022, actually about a year ago, October 14th, 2022. So he says, for example, if you're crafting a sword and you are crafting that. Okay. If you're crafting a sword, you will have an interface, a gameplay layer that you will see, and you will begin to hammer actually that sword into an appropriate outline, and your performance on that can help influence the outcome of that craft. And this is from the Crafting Mechanics wiki as well. So while we didn't really see a lot of mini games in this last thing, I wonder if more of the mini games are in the actual like processing and crafting side of things, not so much the gatherables.
Yeah, I think it'll be easier for doing them there. You know what would be a fun mini game for gathering is if you could plant stuff on freeholds and in little pots and stuff at rented domiciles, and your gathering skill translated into being able to grow more products on whatever you're growing on your in your housing area. Like you could plant a little, I'll just use apples again, plant a little apple tree, and yeah, sure, you could have an apple tree growing in the living room of your apartment or tavern room, like right above it. But yeah, I think maybe if that were to translate over your skill in gathering would help you plant stuff. That could be the mini game there.
Yeah, tavern apple tree. That's funny. I just put in the office hours, by the way. They're having an office hours to talk about the artisanship system on Tuesday the 12th. And this will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific. So keep an eye out for that if you guys would like to discuss more. They love having people pop in and chat. And I wish I could make it, but I'll actually be at my holiday party for work. So, yeah. Apple cider, yes. Which actually, that brings up the point. The holiday recipes are up. If you have not seen this on the forums, they're asking people to vote. And I think whichever one wins, they're going to give us the recipe for that.
Yes.
So if you have not voted, I don't know what you guys voted for, but I voted for, of course, pyree. have to do that. And I learned the hard way that the Harvest Bowl and the Moondrop drink were two separate things, and it was not a Harvest Bowl called a Moondrop drink. So I misread the assignment.
That's funny.
I'm just saying, Vec has eggnog. Saying.
Oops.
Not to
Vec
try
has
to
eggnog,
influence your
true.
votes, but Vec
True.
has eggnog.
Zillion, who did you vote for?
I did not vote.
Oh,
Where was the voting happening?
it's on the forums. I'll send you the link directly, but I have it in the chat as well.
I do not check the forums very often.
That's fair.
Never been much of that.
I think
But
they
there
may
you
have
go,
even
yeah.
put it on Twitter. Maybe it was a post there too.
Yeah, possibly. And the
forget.
Reddit, I think they linked to it.
I forget. I know I voted and I was saddened because not as many people want eggnog as I had anticipated.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Ash Citizenship says perhaps they could make a system where people have to learn actual smithing or in metallurgy, I think is how you say that. So we get options furthering crafting, like what percentage of coal to add and to the ore to get good steel, and when to quench and what to quench in oil or water. And if you fail, the game mocks you. Oh, that's worse.
Did you play Vanguard Saga of Heroes?
I have not, no.
That's one of the ones that actually went defunct. So you can't play it now. I think there's a free server, but they still haven't got it right where you can really play it. But they had an entire crafting mini game where you had a certain number of points you could spend and a bunch of different abilities that would increase the duration, how long you have to craft it. Or I guess it decreased the duration that you had to craft it, but would increase the quality, or you'd have a skill that would increase the amount of duration. And so you were trying to make sure you finished the product, but with the highest quality possible. And there was all the you could make mistakes and there was a level of randomness to it and stuff. It was one of the coolest crafting systems I've ever seen in my life.
Nice.
But it's gone now. We'll never get to see it again.
Aw. Yeah,
Aw.
actually, somebody in we posted our last YouTube video suggested that I look into another game. I don't know if it's available in US. Some people are telling me it's only available in EU. But it was Mortal Online 2.
Yes.
And
Yes.
apparently I might like their alchemy system.
Okay.
So I was going to look into that. I thought that would be really cool. So thank you so much to Zarleth for suggesting that. I'm going to look into that. Isn't that on Steam? I think so. I saw it for $30. I just wasn't sure if we could play it. Alchemy Best Craft. I'm so excited for Alchemy. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. But we're going to show some fan focus. This one is actually the Kalar Feast from Ashes of Creation. They posted this in their news and on the Reddit, but I like it. It's very festive. I hope our tavern looks like that in the future. But
Yeah, it's great.
I'm gonna ask you, because as we wrap up here a little bit, what is your favorite thing from the most recent live stream, Zolan, while Vertec shares some stuff on the fan focus things?
I know it's a tiny thing. It's not really.
Nothing's too tiny.
I know. And I already mentioned it, but the ability for multiple people to hit the same resource node, gathering node.
Ooh, yeah, Palea does that, and that's a really neat idea.
Okay, Palea does. That's interesting. I messed around with Palea, but I never got very far into it. But Vanguard Saga of Heroes did that.
Okay.
And not only could you have multiple people hitting the same node, when you did, it actually increased how much came out and the rarity percentage chance of getting more rare stuff to come out of that node. And what it created this, there were people who got together to go mining together, to go chopping trees together, go picking flowers together if you're into that sort of thing. And so it made the crafting, or I guess the gathering portion of it, social, in a way that it's just not in MMOs. And then when I think about that, how social that's going to be, not only is it going to be social because your node is going to need so much wood, and so the citizens of your node are working together to go create wood. But also you can hit the same node. Also, one of you can be a really good surveyor, or maybe a couple of you can be a really good surveyor. And like, I mean, if you think about it, what surveying really does is just generate nodes on the map. So you can go generate your own nodes or your own trees or whatever.
Right.
And so it just makes the entire thing social. So definitely the multiple people hitting one resource node, and especially if they expound on that and make it where it gives more resources or has a higher crit chance or gets done faster or something like that, it makes it even better.
Yeah. For Palia, even though it's not like your typical MMORPG, the more people that were attacking a node at a time, the more resources everybody got. So it was like rewarding people for working together.
Yes.
So I like that. Also on screen is me as a idealized cleric rogue mixture, with sporting my cleric rogue armor and of course the golden feather mug. How could I ever be without that, especially as a dwarf? I did promise Dunehold a dwarven character at some point, and I will try to recreate this in the character creator when we get that. Am I selling merch? Maybe one day. Yeah, we would like to. We have no idea what to sell. We would like to do the mugs, but it's hard to price those at a reasonable price. They're like $60 a pop if we just sell it to you guys. No beard, no. No, I am one of the non-bearded dwarven people, but you know, I'm sure you'll find many out there.
She's playing a dwarf that's not old enough to have earned her beard yet.
Yes, exactly. But what about you, Vertec? Was there a favorite from the most recent live stream that you're excited about?
Oh man, you're asking me to pick favorites.
Yep.
Jeez.
Sorry.
Yeah, which one of your kids is your favorite? Tell us now.
I would say the flexible crafting, being able to bring in extra materials and increase the rarity.
Can I change my answer?
Yeah,
Do
being
you
able
agree,
to.
Vertec? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it was that whole stream just like I just loved every bit of it. I just sat there the entire time just with this big stupid smile on my face. Yeah.
Could you imagine though? Because Steven did answer the question something along the lines of you can use rare materials or something like that for big stuff and legendary materials for small stuff. Can you imagine getting a legendary recipe item from somebody and they used like rare instead of legendary materials to make it? Like, I thought you were gonna make me the thing. I did. It's right here. But why is it green? It's supposed to be orange.
Oh, we got a champion of the hill coming in. Be sure to join.
Oh.
But yes, go give some love to Undead Pally. That's Undead Pally's Twitter post of the Dwarven TV, and then Ashes of Creation's post for this fan art that is being the nice, lovely backdrop for our Battle of the Hill.
Yeah.
So
the Pyre is about to destroy whoever tries to climb to the top of that hill. Just saying, look out.
Yeah, absolutely. So what does this do? This is a fun little mini game you guys can do occasionally while listening to us, and you guys just kind of PvP each other. Yeah. It's just something for you guys to, I guess, be a part of, and bragging rights. Yeah. But my favorite, I'd have to say, is, oh my gosh, I kind of lost my mind and I was prepared to get really angry. I'm gonna prepare this because when they gathered those bioluminescent things, if the final product was not gonna be bioluminescent, I was about to be really, really angry. But then when I saw how it looked afterwards, it was so amazing. I loved that it came through at the end, because in my mind, if I'm using something bioluminescent that is a main ingredient for the
beginner's luck.
Beginner's luck. For the weapon or whatever, I feel like it should definitely show its presence in the final form of the item instead of not having that. Even if it's like very light for something that's more of a common, where it kind of like the runes from World of Warcraft are just kind of glowy almost. Even if it's something light like that, I would be fine.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that was very cool. I didn't really like the sword, the way that it looked. It was kind of okay, but I did like that. Like you said, it included the bioluminescent portion of it. That was really important. Yep.
Yeah. And I had to show some Pirate love over to this Pirate art because Pirate's got to stick together.
True story. But yeah, you guys missed it. It was absolutely, it was adorable and funny and hilarious all at the same time because we had a watch party for the live stream in our Discord. And the entire time they're gathering materials, she goes, if it has a name like that and they're gathering this shiny stuff, it better glow. It better glow.
Yeah.
It better glow.
If this doesn't glow, I'm gonna riot.
Yeah, it was so cool to see it. I loved the bioluminescent nighttime specific options. So, oh, sorry, Splin, it's already ended. I was gonna burn down a house. Exactly. I was ready to rage. Well,
that's the second time that Chaffee has mentioned burning down houses. I think we might have a little arson situation.
If your node has an arson problem,
we might need to keep an eye on Chaffee, especially in our tavern for tech.
It's actually the third.
Keep Chaffee away from the open flames and the fireballs.
No matches.
Let's tell Sunny and Cash. Oh, thank you for the stretch. I appreciate that. Especially after this podcast. So.
Indeed.
No mug of oil for you, because I know you're gonna try fire breathing with that.
Denied, friend.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
we're gonna need Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say we're gonna need the firefighters. That's all.
Absolutely, keep them on hand. Free drinks for firefighters while Chaffee's around.
Yes.
Chaffee.
Free drinks.
Did you have anything else you wanted to share there, Chibi?
I am upset because Intrepid's next live stream is after our last podcast for the 2023 year, but we will be doing a watch party in the Discord, in our TGF Discord. So if you've not been in it yet, come check us out. We're having a fun time talking about Ashes there as well. But I'm really sad that we won't be able to react to that for a podcast. But it is what it is. We'll get to talk about it in the new year. And we have some fun stuff planned in the new year that we'll talk to you all about in January. So just a reminder, next week is our last one for 2023. That's all. Oh, and go follow Zelen.
Yeah, go follow
that guy. That guy. Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, the content is about to start flowing again. I know. I found it very interesting how I'm starting to see names that I haven't seen in 2 years. Out of nowhere. And my assumption has been the entire time that we've been waiting for this, that when the game actually is here or close to here or whatever, that the community would come back. The people that I talk to a lot and spend a lot of time with, especially during the Alpha 1 and stuff, would come back, and we're starting to see that, and I'm ready. There's Splinter. We were talking about Splinter earlier.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm ready to start making content again. I'm excited about it. And coming up after this next live stream that they have, when they're going to announce the quarter, that's when I'm going to start really ramping up content production again. So if you're not following me on YouTube, go do it. And you can hear an old man tell stories about the glory days of MMOs.
So there's all of Zelen's socials. Please be sure to follow him. He's super awesome. And I can't wait to see your videos. I enjoyed actually the last one. And I was like, I'm so excited that you're coming back again. I'm just so happy.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm excited.
He was just saying you're really awesome, and you like to comment on people's videos and like in the Ashes community. So keep an eye out for you.
Yes. Well, thank you everybody for stopping by. We really appreciate that. We always say that the greatest amount of support you can give us and the greatest thing you can do to support us is just to stop by and join the conversation with us and hang out. And you did that. You showed up in spades, and we love you for it.
Yeah, we thank you for all the support that you gave us today too. It was super awesome.
I was going to say, it does not mean we don't also appreciate the gift subs and the bits and all that stuff. You guys are amazing, and we greatly appreciate it.
And we're raiding over to Vlados Gaming next. Zelen, are you going to be streaming later tonight?
I'm not going to stream later tonight because I was here, but I will be. No, because I'm going to be on with Jamie Chaos next week. So I guess One of these Fridays.
Keep an eye
coming
on
up,
his
I'll stream
Twitter.
again. Yeah.
One of these Fridays coming
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Oh my
Definitely
gosh.
follow
Love
me
it.
on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. That's where you're going to get most of my content.
There you go. There, you heard it here first.
Indeed. Well, thank you again, everybody. Could have been anywhere doing anything. You could have been making your own arts to be featured on a Fan Friday, but instead you're here looking at Fishblood's pirate art and enjoying it with us. So we appreciate that.
Yeah.
You spent your time here. You will not get refunds.
Nope.
But we love you for it. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye.